Thanks, George. And he stole my line. I was going to say the whole luau. I'm looking forward to coming down and bringing my coconuts down and enjoying the time down here.
All right.
But well, my name is Chris Hartman. I'm the Vice President of IT Operations. He promoted me to Senior Vice President. He demoted me. All in that one little sentence there. But George, that's okay. Me and George have known each other a long time. Thank you for inviting us to have this brief time with you folks here. I told George we were going to be in town. He invited us to come and speak to all of you. So thank you for taking time out to listen to us. The sun looks beautiful outside. It's such a great feeling. I'm done with winter. I'm so glad that we got some sunshine in here. Today we're just going to talk on 2 topics, and then afterwards we will hang around. If you have other things you want to discuss related to IT, we'll be more than happy to have those conversations with you. With me today is Niamh Fabiszewski. She is the Corporate Director of Technology Support. Niamh just celebrated her 25th year here at AXE.
Wow.
So it's quite an accomplishment. Also with me today is Bob Burrs, Director of Technology Support. He celebrated his 3rd year anniversary. So he doesn't have the longevity as Niamh, but he's an excellent resource that we depend on to get things done. And also everyone knows in the back of the room, Brett Hill, he's our Community Technical Analyst. He just celebrated his 15th year. So we got some longevity here. And I'm not, saying anything, but I just celebrated my 19th year here at AXE. So I'm getting close to my 20 years. So, what 2 topics we're going to talk about today are private Wi-Fi. I know that's a concern, and the security behind the Wi-Fi that we put here. We're going to let Bob speak on that behalf. But we're going to start off with Niamh, who's going to be talking about our K4 resident app, and that we'll be launching that soon right here at this location. So Niamh, if you want to come up.
Yeah. Thank you, Chris, and good morning, everyone. And thank you, George, for having us. It's really nice to be here. Can everyone hear me okay? I speak gently, but I'll use my outside voice. So I am very happy to be here and to be able to share some new resident technology that's coming your way. I really enjoyed hearing all the announcements that George and his team shared, the delicious menus. And as I was listening to all that, I was imagining that in the next couple of months, we're going to be able to bring that to you through a new resident app. And so that's what I'm going to describe today. The company, you may have heard of K4 Connect. They are a company out of Raleigh, North Carolina. They have customers across the nation, and they are experts in resident technology, specifically in communication technology and engagement technology, and all the way out to smart home technology. So I'm not sure who here uses our resident portal, but we do have a resident portal. Adoption is not as high as we'd like, and there are a few reasons for that. And I just mention that because it's going to highlight what you're going to get from the K4 app. So the few things that we have heard and we already know K4 satisfies is that the app is easy to access, and it's very easy to find information. A couple of clicks and you get to the menus, you get to the announcements, events, and I'll touch on the types of information that you can get there. There are 2 ways you can access the app. There is a mobile app that you can put on your smartphone or your tablet, and there's also a web app, so you can go up to a browser and log into the web app. The nice thing is it's very easy to get in, and once you're in, you don't have to log in again unless you uninstall the app or you log out of the browser or you go to a different browser. So that's nice. The types of information that you'll get when you're in there is news and announcements, like you heard announced today and you're taking notes, but you'll be able to just go into your app and that'll be right there for you. We can post videos like today's video. So if you missed it on the touchdown, you'll be able to go out to the app and just look at those videos anytime you want. We'll have important information like a safety manual or anything that's static information that's helpful for all of you. There will be menus posted, and there's an events section. So the events that you heard about today that sound really exciting, you'll be able to see those, add them to your own view of events that you're going to attend, and you can also put them on your personal calendar as a reminder. And if there is a limited attendance, you'll be able to sign up to attend the event from the app. And that will be able to be managed by the event organizer also, who can communicate out with you any updates for that event. There is a full resident directory that's in the app, and that is fed from Salesforce. You will be able to chat with each other, have group chats, call each other through the app. You can create your own bio, and then, which will be really nice for new residents, you'll be able to search for interests. So if you put in your bio that you like gardening, anyone can search, and if they have a similar interest, it's going to return a list of residents that they can connect with. There is a friends and family version, so you can send a link for this app to your friends and family, and they will have a similar experience of accessing it, similar information, but it's really only information that George and his team check off as being available outside of the community. So just thinking if I touched on all the highlights there. There is also a voice offering that K4 has. You're entitled to, it's optional, but we will give you a free Amazon Echo, so an Amazon Dot. It is, unlike if you have Alexas in your home right now, it's slightly different in that it's configured for the organization. So while you can ask it some basic Amazon Alexa questions like, what's the weather, or remind me to take my vitamins in the morning, it is configured for our organization. So you will be able to ask it, what are today's specials? What are today's events? What are tomorrow's events? Beyond, sort of a short list of things, you're going to want to go to the app, because if it's, saying back a lot of detail to you, it's going to be hard to take all that in. But if you just want the highlights for today, tomorrow, the week, it's going to be really beneficial. You can ask Echo to call the front desk, and we'll program in a set of numbers that are convenient. Call security. We'll work with George and his team to set that up. Let me see. That's a lot of information, but over the next couple of weeks, we will work with Bob and myself, will work with Brett. If you're interested in piloting it, what we're doing is starting off with about 20 residents. About a year ago, we did that at Matthews Glen. 20 residents used the app, and 3 months later, these residents held a fair. They demoed the app to their fellow residents, and that same day, they onboarded 200 residents into the app. Today, they have over 400 residents using it. They have a 100-year-old resident who never touched technology, and she's raving about it. So a lot of success stories, and just looking forward to bringing it to you. It will also have, and I know Touchtown is a topic that you've asked about. It does have a digital sign component and an in-house TV piece. So you can look forward to that as well. So I'll pass it over. Bob's going to talk about the private Wi-Fi, and then we can take any questions. Thanks.
Hi, my name is Robert Burzes. I'm Director of Technology Support, and I don't have an inside voice, so everybody should be able to hear me pretty well. There's been a lot of concerns about the Access Wireless for its security. You don't want to take any chances with that kind of wireless. So we added a couple of servers where we could actually give the residents a resident wireless that's actually, it's secure. It's secure behind 2 firewalls, and it's secure behind an encryption. The only way you can join the Axe residence is to sign up for it, and signing up for it is no problem whatsoever. You call the front desk or get a hold of Brett. You can go to Brett on any of the tech cafes. His tech cafes are Friday at 1 o'clock. And he can get you on. The only thing you need to bring your iPad, bring your phone. If you have a printer that you're trying to use in your room and you don't have your own wireless and you use the guest wireless, we can set up an appointment where Brett can come in, get the information we need for the addresses of your devices, because you can only connect certain devices to these, and he'll get you on. You'll be able to print again. Are there any questions? Because
This replaces Act's guest?
it doesn't replace it. Axe Guest is still there, but you don't need to use it. Like somebody that just comes in from, I guess, that's an actual guest would use that, but residents can use the resident and it's secure.
When I've used Axe Guest, and it's not terribly reliable. I mean, sometimes it'll go down and it's spotty.
We
I'm
added,
wondering, is this going to be more reliable?
yes, and it's also going to be a little bit faster.
Will it cost anything?
No.
I see smiles. That's good. And not that you heard Bob say, my inside voice is quite loud too, so I don't think I need a microphone, but you heard Bob talk about the guest network and people's perception that it was an unsecure. It's a guest network. It is still sitting behind our firewalls. People can't penetrate from the outside. An active person would have to be in this building to be able to browse the network in order to make it considered unsecure. But it is a secure network as it is. But this new resident Wi-Fi is going to make it so you're inside your own bubble. Just like if you didn't live here, you lived somewhere else and you had a home far away where you were inside and had a cable provider providing you your network, you were inside your own bubble. This is your own bubble now within your own homes. So it's an exciting thing that we're offering right now.
The other thing about this, when we're setting it up, you can use your own. If you have a password that you want to use, I mean, we don't want you to use like your dog's name or anything like that. But if you have something you want to use that you'll remember, we can set that up. It can be personalized. Any other questions?
Is it available now?
Yes. We started putting people on it 2 weeks ago. Here,
What's the speed?
12 megabit.
Okay.
Thank you.
Any other questions? And like I said, we will hang out later on to answer any questions if you have anything that you want to talk to us personally about.
I assume you're blocking malicious sites and things like that.
Well, it's your own personal network, right? So you have access to anything you want to have access to, but what we're doing is preventing the malicious person trying to get into that network. Thank you, George.
Great. Thank you very much. It's not too often we get our Axe IT team here, so I'm glad that was able to work out. And now I'm glad to introduce Michael Martin, who is our Director of the Legacy Foundation for the Mid-Atlantic region. And while he's talking, I will get your slides going.
Awesome, thank you. Well, good morning, everybody. Great to be here. This is my first visit to Bailey Chase, so very happy to see you all come out this morning. I sent some slides to George. I was like a visual to help people. So a little bit about me. I am the Mid-Atlantic Regional Director for the Axe Legacy Foundation. So that means I cover all 8 of the Mid-Atlantic communities. So I'm on the road a lot. I'm planning to be here on a regular basis, at least once a month, more as needed, hopefully more. My office is located on the Cokesbury Village campus, so I'm very aware of the day-to-day happenings in the communities. I've worked with residents for a long time. I actually started at the Country House back in 2007, so this is my 15th year working with the communities. I actually joined Axe through the affiliation with the POMH organization in 2010. So I came into Axe as part of an affiliation just like you. I know a lot of the things that you're going through, so it can be helpful when we're talking to know I lived through the affiliation process. I started in sales and marketing, so I also understand what you all have gone through to move into this community. I've worked with hundreds of residents to help them move into Axe communities throughout the region, so I know where a lot of you are coming from. Back in 2020, I finished my Chartered Advisor in Philanthropy designation. That just means I've completed multiple courses and taken exams to verify that I am an expert in all things related to charitable giving and philanthropy. So we can have an open conversation about pretty much any charitable giving topic if you are so inclined to do so. And then I am the bow tie guy. So I work with literally thousands of residents, and as I age, I find it's harder for me to learn names. So it's easy for you all to know me. And if you know the bow tie guy and ask Mary or the front desk, I want to talk to the bow tie guy, but I don't have his number, they'll know who you're talking about. So it does help. And it helps me not get confused with our IT team or any other number of representatives that come through. So a little bit about the foundation. I know some of you may be familiar with the foundation, working with either Ray Boyle or Caitlin Christ in the past. But for those of you who are not, I wanted to just give you a quick summary and introduction. We do have a separate board of directors. The Axe Legacy Foundation is a separate organization under the Axe umbrella. So we have our separate board of directors. We have 3 residents that sit on our board of directors. That's Jane Young at Granite Farms Estates, Reverend George Gunn, who's at Brittany Point, and Bob Evans, who's down at, I believe, Matthews Glen. So we did lose a couple of board members in the last 2 years, and I believe they're working on replacing them. So you may see some new names in the next few years. Jane Hugel is sort of considered our local board member here. She lives outside of Chestertown. So she's been very helpful working with Heron Point and the Maryland communities and representing their interests to our board of directors in the past. The Axe Legacy Foundation has a fairly simple mission, and that's to foster the spirit of philanthropy in the communities. We administer, solicit, issue receipts, provide stewardship to all the charitable funds that Axe has and receives, and helps to utilize those to provide services and programs and enhancements to the community. So we are here to help you benefit your community. We do have an honor society. You may have heard this in the past. You may see it on things. It's called the Circle of Loving Kindness. That is actually a picture of the membership pin. So if you see anybody wearing that pin, they're one of our major donors here. The Circle of Loving Kindness recognizes major donors, and that's people who have made either a single gift of more than $10,000 or their cumulative giving has exceeded $10,000. It also recognizes people who have made a planned gift. Planned gift may sound like a buzzword, but planned gift is really a good description for what it is. People who have planned a future gift, whether it's through a will, estate plan, beneficiary designation, to support the organization or the community. So some idea of the things that we've done in other communities. St. Andrews Estates built a beautiful outdoor pavilion. It has a little kitchenette and restroom. Manor House built their pool and fitness center. In George, they're actually going to finish the new fitness center, which is also being done with donor funds. Linear Village Estates, a few years back, built that beautiful chapel, all with donor funds. Recently, we also have done an electric car charging station at Granite Farms Estates. That was a great day, cutting the ribbon on that. And we also just do day-to-day things like fitness equipment. Residents sometimes will say, I really want this piece of equipment, or every time I go to the gym to use the bike or the new step or whatever it may be, it's always busy, it's always in use. Let's get another one. So we've done sort of mundane things like that, just to benefit the community and the residents. We also fund programs and activities. We've done everything from concerts to parties to programs for the staff. Here are 2 examples. One is the Cokesbury Village Person-Centered Care Award, which recognizes an outstanding CNA every year. It provides them a generous cash award. And the other are employee scholarship programs. We have multiple employee scholarship programs throughout the organization. They call me the Scholarship King because the Mid-Atlantic region has more scholarship programs than any other. In fact, the Integrace communities came with a scholarship program that is for all graduating high school seniors that work at any of the 3 former Integrace communities. So if you know any graduating seniors that are working in your community, they should be applying for the Bell Scholarship. I know Justin has the information and has passed it along to his students. But it's better to get the word out there and a friendly nudge to get those students to apply. We're not their parents, so we can't make them do it, but it's a very generous scholarship program, and they certainly would be foolish to not apply. Big question I always get at the communities, so I put it in there just to answer it now, because it's probably the question you're all thinking about. How do we use the foundation funds? Once we give money, how does it get used? The money that's there, how do we use that? The executive director is your gatekeeper. So at the communities, an executive director is the person that decides whether he has budget funds that are done through his regular budget process that he can utilize for a purchase, or whether it's something that he would like to approach the foundation and request funding for. So that request might be generated from resident interest to say, hey, we need a new bike for the fitness center, or maybe something he and his management team work out. But he's the person that we would want to receive a request for donor funds from. So he's our gatekeeper here. That request then comes to the foundation. The foundation reviews the request, determines whether there are available funds, and whether there's a fund that would be appropriate to use. So we are required to maintain records about the donations that we receive and the purposes that have been assigned to those donations, and whether there is money that is available to meet that purpose or that request, and we would approve those funds. After we approve the funds, the executive director and the local management team is responsible for putting them to use, which means going through the standard ACTS purchasing process or project procedures to get projects done. So your local team is very important. We are here simply to help the donors make a gift, create that program, make their legacy, and to help the communities utilize those funds once there's a need. So do you have any questions? I know I kept it brief, but I knew I was going to be at the end. So, yes, ma'am.
I understood that there's a fund to support people who run out of money while they're here.
Yes. So the Samaritan Fund, the ACTS Samaritan Fund, exists for residents at all the ACTS communities. It's generally there to support people who run out of financial resources through no fault of their own. So there are some details of the program. I know a lot of you are still on the non-ACTS contract, and I'm still trying to get clarification on how it applies for people who have not converted. But certainly new residents that have come in since the ACTS contract was put in place, or for those of you that have converted, you certainly are covered through the Samaritan Fund. For those of you who have not converted, I'm waiting for clarification on how the fund applies to all of you. But yes, it's there. Any other questions? No? Well, thank you all. I look forward to meeting you. My contact information is on the screen. I'm here for you. Unlike a lot of the regional staff, my job is to work here with you all. So please don't be shy if you want to pick up the phone and give me a call if you have a question. All right, thank you very much. Have a wonderful day. Enjoy the sunshine.
Thank you, Michael. Are there any other questions about anything? One note I want to make is I'm going to need to move the Ask the Director meeting, fireside chat, from the week that we normally have it to next week, because I've been asked to work at the corporate office that day, and I'm not going to be able to be here. So I still want to have the meeting, so you'll see some communication about that, but I just thought I'd mention it since I'm here. Okay, seeing no questions, God bless you. Have a great day.
Thank you.